Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Good Templar here. As you can see, I got a better microphone and better mouse this time around, so improvements are coming. Um, so today's video, I want to talk about some of my personal experiences, um, and in particular with some vision dreams I've had of late. Two in particular I want to focus on. I've had other dreams that were not from God. Those were more of spiritual attacks. So that'll be a later video. And there's many other things to talk about. But today I want to focus on these two particular vision dreams. The first one was on the night of August 28th, morning of August 29th, 2021. So it was fairly recent, making this video on November 12th, 2021. And before this vision dream happened, God told me that there would be a fake invasion on August 28th. So a few months ahead of time. And I didn't really know what that meant. And then it came to be that Afghanistan, the Taliban invaded Kabul and took Afghanistan, which was a fake invasion, right? It wasn't a real invasion. It was a setup. So God predicted that quite spot on. And in hand with that was my vision dream. So in this vision dream, it started off on a tropical beach. And I remember it was a tropical beach because there was, palm trees and it was quite nice out. And just off the beach, there was a massive, what looked to be highly advanced black ship. And there was 3 lines going to the ship. There was a train, there was a lineup of trucks, like nice trucks, and a lineup of people. And the train would go up, and each car would go up to the ship. And these like highly advanced mechanical arms were taking cylinders off of the cable cars and loading it onto the ship. And the lines were incredibly long. It would go over the horizon. And not much to say about the second line. It was just really nice black trucks. Everything, like it was a black train, black ship, black trucks, and then all the people were wearing black or dark colors. And I was standing next to the lineup of people with one of my friends. And I saw John Cena in the line. He was wearing like cheesy black tactical gear as if he was in like a movie. And behind him was somebody dressed up in an SS uniform. And my buddy talked to the guy in the SS uniform as if he knew him. So I'll just get through the actual what happened in the dream, and then later on I'll get into what I think the meaning of the dream is. And after briefly talking to him, I didn't talk to John Cena because I was like, I don't want to fanboy out on John Cena. That was kind of my thought process in the dream. Kind of funny, but so I got brought up into the sky by an angel. And this angel didn't look like a human being, like you might imagine, with angel wings, and it was a flying eyeball, right? And it was like a big eyeball, and then on each side of the eyeball were 2 smaller eyeballs looking out to the sides. And there was multiple ones, but there's the one in particular I remember quite clearly. It had one side was of fire and one side was of ice, so they were kind of like wings, but didn't really seem to be actually like flapping them or anything. They were just kind of there. And then it took me to a laboratory that was like at nighttime. And there was several children, like I'd say 13 age range, all wearing kind of hospital gowns, and maybe about 4 of them. And they all looked kind of malnourished and sickly. And there was nobody else in the laboratory besides them. And there was these test tubes filled with black ooze or goop or something, right? and they each took one of the tubes and drank the contents. And after a short period of time, there was this one girl I remember in my dream. She vomited out what appeared to be some kind of demon, some kind of monster. It was a humanoid with kind of black, inky looking skin, ashy. It was like oily and ashy. And she vomited this thing out. And it was bigger than she was. So it looked quite uncomfortable, to say the least. And then after she vomited this thing out, it just picked her up and kind of like put her in this harness as if it was like for a toddler or something, and started carrying her around. And she was limp, and she would just kind of flop around as this demon thing, for lack of a better name, just kind of carried her around. And that was the end of the first vision dream that I had. The second vision dream that I had, I'll go over both, just what happened in each vision dream, and then go back to my analysis. So the second dream was on Halloween. And a little bit of context for this one. I fasted for 3 days before, and God told me that on the last night of my fast, I would receive a vision dream. And I did. So it started off with me kind of near a playground, and what looked to be an asteroid or a meteorite, I guess, crash landed next to this playground. And I went to investigate it, and it kind of looked like half a meteorite and half like an airplane. Not too much different than an airplane you see today. But yeah, and it was kind of like the pilot was already missing. I tried to take a picture of it, and the government showed up to cover it up, right? And even though I took pictures of this craft on my phone, the pictures didn't work. And the government agent tried to kill me, and I eventually escaped. And the alien pilot from the ship was kind of like a reptilian, alien-looking thing, kind of like in Galaxy Quest, I guess. For anybody that's seen Galaxy Quest, it's kind of like the lobster head monster. I'm sure you can just Google it, or if I ever find the ability to edit, figure out how to edit, maybe I'll splice that in here somewhere. So yeah, and it kind of behaved like very aggressively. It had like a plasma pistol type weapon from Halo, but not quite. And then my dream eventually went into kind of an exposition of explaining what exactly was happening. So that alien was from another race, from outside of our reality, like an extra dimensional alien race. And that our leadership, the world leaders, have all been bought and paid for and compromised by these extra dimensional species that's highly advanced. And they're basically been preparing us for an invasion, and they've been doing this by keeping us technologically dumbed down, intellectually dumbing us down, economically attacking us, pitting us against each other. The vaccines as a bioweapon to prepare the way for the invasion to come, trying to take away or confiscate our weapons. Like all those things you could easily justify as people trying to subjugate you, but it seemed that my dream was telling us that it's more than that. It's actually a extra dimensional or demonic race that is going to be invading us in a relatively short amount of time. Yeah, and that's, in my dream I saw this advanced society, or that they're coming from. Now, do I think that the what's actually going to happen is going to look like in my dream? No, it's probably a metaphor, as these dreams tend to be. So the first dream, it started off with the big ship, right? The big technologically advanced ship. I think it's clear to me that represents the globalists, the Satanists, the Hollywood elites, and the Nazis, who are all working together escaping, trying to escape on either their big ships. It might literally be a big ship, like an evil ark, or maybe it's just a metaphor for their like private islands and bunkers in the mountains, a little bit of both. And that there's Nazis still kicking around today for sure, and they're in a lot of positions of power. Just like in Operation Paperclip, it all makes sense. And then the laboratory with children, I see the black ooze as what they're putting in the vaccines, and that it's going to eventually, unless you're lucky enough to get a saline fake shot, eventually grow. If it doesn't kill you, if it doesn't kill you, eventually grow inside your body to a point where you lose control of your body, and you become a puppet to demons. You get demonically possessed through these vaccines eventually, and the more shots you get, the quicker it happens. Yeah, and then the next dream, I think, is a lot more self-explanatory. That we have a lot to look forward to. Yeah, we have it might seem a little bit daunting, right? With you have the communists, the Chinese, the globalists, our own government seems to be out for us. And then on top of that, you have a demonic invasion to worry about. But, just keep in mind, God wins in the end. So you don't really have to worry about winning this yourself. You just got to stand against it. You just got to make the right moral choices, stand against it. The masks, the vaccines, the lockdowns, the collapsing the economy, the coming for your guns. It's all preparing us for this invasion, right? So, just be ready, and just stand up and say no and speak out. It's pretty much where I'm at right now. I'm sure I'll be getting another vision dream pretty soon. Perhaps I'll make a video about that, but there's also a lot of other things I want to talk about in regards to how I communicate with God and how that came to be, and what exactly maybe some other things he's telling me is. Maybe, can't go into everything, like specific dates, but I'd say you can expect shit to really fly off the handle in the springtime. I can say that much. So get storable food, stock up on ammo while you still can, for perhaps even just for hunting reasons, because grocery stores can't be relied on. And this isn't a particularly YouTube friendly video, so perhaps I'll make a Rumble account and other whatnots for now. But for now, I'm just doing YouTube because I do not have no background history in video making or editing, so I'm kind of learning as I go here. But yeah, hopefully somebody, at least if even one person out there finds this video informative or helpful, then I'll be happy. So yeah, that's it for now. I'll be making more videos a little bit more quickly, less of a hiatus because personal reasons. Work is becoming a little bit more relaxed, you can say, where due to being unvaccinated, not a lot on the premises anymore. So things are escalating. This is the apocalypse. Like, we are in the tribulation phase. And things are just going to keep escalating from here. Christians are going to be getting persecuted more and more. It's just like in the Bible. It's all there. Read Revelations, read Matthews, read the whole Bible, really. But if you really want to just get a quick rundown of what you can expect, look into Revelations. Read Matthew, particularly chapter 24 is a good indication of where we're at right now. So, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share this video if you think this is interesting. I don't know, I think it's interesting. So, I think it's the most important thing going on right now. This is the most important thing. Don't forget about your everyday worries. You're worried about paychecks. You're worried about how to get food on the table. Just put your faith in God, right? Turn to Jesus, put your faith in God, and God will reward your faith. He's got a much better vantage point than you do. He's a much better vantage point than I do. So that's what I do. And, I haven't always been Christian. I was saved a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, over a gradual period of time. And it's the logical conclusion to what's happening. If you want to understand what's happening, you need to understand the spiritual aspect. You need to understand that you are under a demonic attack. And if you're feeling afraid, if you're feeling scared, that's a spiritual attack. And Jesus can take that away. Jesus can help heal you. He can heal your soul. You just have to knock on the door and he'll answer. But yeah, that's it for now. God bless. And see you next time.